What happens when you do everything right but still get punished for it? I used to think hard work and documentation would protect me from anything. Boy, was I wrong. It started with Mr. Jordan's ridiculous group project policy. All members received the same grade, no matter what. The man had a white beard that screamed, "I've given up on fairness," and a habit of telling complaining students they'd end up homeless. Real motivational speaker, that guy. When he announced assigned groups, my stomach dropped. I got paired with the class burnouts. You know the type. They smelled like weed, skipped classes daily, and wore their 1.5 GPAs like badges of honor. This is a death sentence, I muttered, watching them laugh at something on their phones. But I had a plan. I'd document everything. Every missed meeting, every ignored message, every contribution I made alone. I found the golden rule buried in the student handbook. Individual assessment required when documented disparity exceeds 40%. The next weeks were brutal. I scheduled meetings, nobody showed. I created shared documents, only my name appeared. They'd text things like, "Every group needs a beach. Guess we found ours," and "Thanks for being so submissive, beach." Each insult, screenshot, every empty Google Doc history, saved. Presentation day arrived, like Judgment Day. I walked in armed with evidence while they stumbled through reading directly off the board. We all got A's, but their celebration died quickly. "Mr. Jordan, I did significantly more work than them. They don't deserve—" No, he interrupted with his signature finger wag. "Same grade, no exceptions." That's when I smiled and pulled up my secret slideshow. Screenshots of their absence. Google Doc history showing my solo contributions. Even selfies of me working alone at midnight. District Code 4.7 requires individual assessment when documented disparity exceeds 40%, I announced. Mr. Jordan's eyes widened. He grabbed his manual, reread the section, then looked up with genuine amazement. "In 25 years, you're the first student to actually read this thing." I got my A+. They got failed. I thought I'd won. The next morning, police cornered me at my locker. Bags of cocaine allegedly found inside. My heart hammered as handcuffs clicked around my wrists. Students pulled out phones, recording my public humiliation. "Anonymous tip," the officer explained, showing me evidence I'd never seen before. The failed group members stood in the hallway, trying to look shocked, but I caught their subtle glances, their suppressed smiles. They were enjoying this. They planted it, I told anyone who'd listen. They had my combination from the project. Nobody believed me. Even worse, they'd fabricated text messages showing me offering to sell them study drugs. The evidence looked authentic, timestamps and all. My documentation habits, once praised, became suspicious. Typical dealer behavior, officers muttered. They always document everything. College applications were put on hold. My perfect record crumbled overnight. The very traits that made me successful were being twisted into evidence of guilt, but they'd made one crucial mistake. Digital forensics revealed their fabricated messages were created after the drugs were planted, not weeks before as they appeared. Timestamp analysis exposed the lie. Under pressure, one conspirator cracked. He admitted they'd planned revenge immediately after receiving failing grades. They'd stolen a master key, researched my routines, and coordinated their entire frame-up through months of planning. What started as their revenge plot became their criminal nightmare. Conspiracy charges, evidence tampering, theft, filing false reports. The list grew daily. The trial lasted 3 weeks. I watched them fidget nervously as evidence mounted. When the foreman read guilty on all counts, one actually collapsed. Another shook uncontrollably. They received sentences ranging from 18 months to 3 years. Criminal records that would follow them forever. The permanent consequences they'd tried to inflict on me became their reality. I graduated, attended law school, and became a prosecutor specializing in false accusations. My obsessive documentation habits became my professional strength. The case became training material for law enforcement. Years later, one wrote from prison. No request for forgiveness, just acknowledgement of the magnitude of their actions. I filed his letter with my other documentation, a final piece of evidence in a case that changed all our lives. The failed group members had thought they were ending my story. Instead, they'd given me my calling. Their hatred had forged my purpose. Their conspiracy had revealed my strength. Sometimes the worst thing that happens to you becomes the best thing that ever happened to you. You just don't realize it while you're wearing handcuffs. What happens when you do everything right but still get punished? Sometimes you discover